Me bet on myself is me putting up 6 figures and still losing money month over month because I'm trying to do something long term that's really going to change the game.
Facts.
You know, me investing in myself is also investing in this world because I want to have affordable housing one day, because I want to own all these properties and I want to create something that is bigger than me.
And welcome back to another episode of Attractive Mindset. And listen, today's guest has already been here before, but yo, I'm talking about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, dramatic changes, dramatic differences. Like
Yep.
these are the type of growth that we want to see in our community because
Yep.
this is astronomical. We talking
Mhm.
like she left the state
I did.
and just went crazier than she was going when she was here because she was already going
Mhm.
crazy,
Mhm.
but she turned into Neo. She turned into the one. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, this is Matrix trilogy coming back into the building. We got Breezy in the house.
What's up? What's up, y'all? Yes.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to think that I really was here in January.
Mhm.
And yeah, pretty much it was always going crazy because I am crazy. So there's that. But yeah, what he said is true. I decided to leave South Florida. My dad passed away in June, and I had to really think. I had to start learning how to think logically and not emotionally, and that's where a big change in Bree as a woman. Let's start with Bree as a woman first. You know what I'm saying? Let's
say that one more time.
As a woman. I'm a lady. I'm a lady. You know what I'm saying? And I think that how I conduct my business and how I carry myself as an entrepreneur starts with how I carry myself as a woman. And I had to really start focusing on Bree as a woman before it's Bree as a brand, Bree as an entrepreneur, Bree as a boss. I had to really come to who I am. My roots are in the South. You know, my family's Creole. I have a lot of family in New Orleans. I have family in Houston. I do have a great amount of family in the Northeast, New York and Philly and stuff. But I've already been there. You know, I've never really got to check out the South. You know, I'm born in Georgia, and I've just been thinking like, what else do I really have to be here for? You know, if you guys watched the original episode, most of what I do is remote. So there wasn't really a need for me to be in South Florida. I did kick off Gem, which everybody, you know, knows about if they've seen that episode. But even so, like if you have a mobile app, you know, and I know that it's not supposed to just only be here. It should be really worldwide. My goal is to make this nationwide. So what better than go into the middle of the country? It's not like the Midwest, but it is the middle. It's quick to catch a flight to LA. It's quick to catch a flight to New York still. It's quick to catch a flight to Miami. It's actually not expensive at all. But I also had to take a step back and realize, what do I want in my future? When you lose a parent, you know, or anyone close to you, your guardian, a sister, a friend, you do start to think about the future and not just the now. And I've been thinking, I'm always thinking about the now, and I'm not always thinking about 10, 20, 30 years from now. So I had to take a step back as well and figure out, what does life look like when Bree gets older? You know, Bree the auntie, Bree the grandma, Bree the mother. You know, I'm not thinking about these things because I'm living in South Florida. And not to say you can't become a mother and all those things down here, but I never would want to raise my child in Florida. Like, be so for real. The educational system here is a joke. And I say that very with my chest up, considering that I was also the director of technology for a prominent school down here that's not getting free promo from me. But, you know, I've worked at one of the best school districts and best schools down here, and it still was terrible. The best schooling here was probably the most terrible schooling system where I'm from, you know, and that said a lot for me. So I could never see myself raising a child here. And it's also so expensive down here that the average person doesn't have the chance to reinvest in themselves. So I had to think about that from the standpoint of my app. Like, people might not invest in themselves or in my business and such, even here in a location anyway. So, but Houston, wow. I have been in Houston since September 2nd. September 2nd. And the amount of knowledge I've gained from that community. I've gained more knowledge in Houston in 3 months, because I just made 3 months there, than I have in the 7 years I lived in South Florida.
Wow.
And these are our people. You know, there's Black Americans, there's Black Caribbeans, there's Southeast Asians there, there's people from Europe there, there's people from what's it called? Had a brain fart. There's people from all over. So it's still just as diverse in Houston. It's not just Black. It's very diverse, but they're very supportive and they're big on making your money. And it's not that I don't have support here, but you know, it's very different. It's much different. And I needed that sense of community, especially when I was grieving. And it only helped me grow. You know, I think that I've tried planting my seeds out here, but no one helped me grow. Out here, it's always just been me. It's been easier to see my exponential growth because planting a seed in Houston, you're going to have a garden in a you know, in a few months, as long as you plant that seed, because people want you to win. If you win, they win. They're happy to even know you. But out here, I've always got the sense that people gatekeep. And to always have to break through that gatekeeping, I'm spending a lot more time gatekeeping than I am on my business.
Facts.
On my creativity, on my sales, on everything else. This is not the part of the process I want to go through. So it's been great. And with that being said, I moved to Houston. I started my real estate company, Exclusive Bay Group. And as of now, we have one short-term rental and the rest of them are we have 4 other long-term rentals. So now I have officially 5 rental properties in total. I started this business in September and I'm looking forward to scaling it. That business is mainly for what I said, the future. We're going to be focusing on the short-term and long-term rental game. For short-term rentals, we're looking for corporate employees or travel nurses and such, people who lose their homes from fires and such, that need a place to stay for anywhere from 1 to 6 month terms. And I do have a property management group that helps me with that. And then I also have a company called Bluebird Holdings, and I'm partnered with my accountability coach. And we go to the Midwest to start flipping homes in January. So I'm really excited for that venture. The goal is to flip at least 20 homes between now and 2025.
Let's go.
And to reinvest. And eventually I would like to come back to South Florida, not fully, but part-time throughout the years, to create affordable housing for creators. So that's one of my end goals. So I'm starting now. I'm never going to forget about the city that helped me, you know, really form my creativity, because I was always creative, but I never really had a process behind it until I met people like yourself. So I'm never going to forget where I really, you know, started at. You know, I became Bree Daddy down here. I started DJing down here, but now I'm really focusing as Bree is a woman. Bree is a powerful person, and Houston's my home for that. So. And alongside, I'm still building Gem. I'm still working on new features and such. But all of this, you know, is bigger than me. And with that being said, that's why I had to take a step back and reassess and move. Sometimes you just have to go. You have to leave.
Wow. So you just said a whole mouthful. I don't think y'all really understand the dynamic that she just created. She came on the podcast in January. And left in September. And in 3 months, on top of everything else that she already had going on, you now have 5 properties out. Not 1, not 2, 3, 4, but 5. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing. And that growth level just shows you the level of mindset that you have to have when dealing with change, when dealing with adversity, going through different things and coming out on the other side saying, hey, it's going to be better than just okay. Because you could settle for okay, but the levels that you're hitting, you know, just definitely want to give you your flowers right now, because people are not doing that at our age, at this time, in general, whatever, it doesn't matter. And as a Black woman,
right. And yes, y'all, I am 27. I'm 27.
Powerful.
For those who keep trying to lie and tell people I'm 33, you guys are fibbers. I have not celebrated my 30th, let alone my 28th.
Wow. Yeah, 27 years old. Amazing. So what's one of the main things you talked about? The community over there is a lot more willing to
Mm-hmm.
collaborate, a lot
Yeah.
more willing to just accept you and everything.
Yes.
Outside of just it being that southern kind of hospitality,
Yes.
what makes you say that? Like what
Mm-hmm.
really stands out to you in the business community out there?
I think the fact that people are not so shallow, that people are so warm, it's like you walk in and you just sense that southern hospitality. You
Mm,
you sense the mannerism. First of all, the moment you walk in the door, people are, "Hey, how are you? What's your name?" Like, how like will compliment you on anything. Like they're just so nice that you want to respond.
mm,
And it's been everywhere I've been in Houston. Like it could be an event that is even more white. It could be an event that is straight up Black entrepreneurs. It could be an event that's not even for us, you know what I'm
mhm,
saying? But they're just so nice down there. And that Southern hospitality that makes you feel like you belong here, wipes away that imposter syndrome. Because as you can imagine, not only starting a business is scary, so is moving, say,
mhm,
so is making new friends. Like just anything simple like that can be scary. But they just made it so simple for me to just realize, what, I belong here just like everybody else. And it
mhm,
started with the tech mixers first. When I went out there, I went to a Mixer Cloud event, and they are a tech mixer based out of Dallas and Houston. And it's a huge event at the what's it called? The Westin, which is a really nice hotel. And they have it on the top floor, and it was a crap ton of people there
mm,
that were just so kind and just invited me to other mixers and other events. And it just seemed like it was like this domino effect of meeting people in real estate, meeting people in tech, meeting angel investors, meeting people who own clubs, lounges, and it just goes on and on and on. And then people want you at their events or their businesses or their restaurants, but they just want you to support, and they're going to support you.
mhm,
You go to their restaurant, they're gonna ask for my logo to be in their restaurant. Like they're just so kind because they know if you help them, they're gonna help you, and everybody wins. And I also think that the pressure of like not the such a hustle and bustle culture helps, because people know that they get to go home and be cozy in their affordable home.
mm. That
Like
part.
the affordability is way better. My mother also moved to Houston. That was the reason why I decided to move. I could have stayed in Florida. I still have my home in Tamarack.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? That I also rented out. But when my mom told me that she was going to move down there because she received a promotion and got the opportunity, I was just like, well, you know what?
I'm
Why
coming.
not? Why not? I mean, my dad already passed, and who also I have available is my mother as a parent. So of course she's been supporting my dreams all these years. Let me support her dreams, because she
Mm,
always wanted to move to the South.
mm.
So going down there and seeing her look at these beautiful homes, I was like, this is in our budget. I was like, our budget is literally 280 through 300 and some K. I mean, y'all know that that's the sticks
Yeah.
out here, especially now going at the end of 2023.
Mhm,
We did not have a down payment.
mm,
We got a brand new construction home,
mm,
split level. I have an apartment upstairs, basically. It's a loft. I have a
mhm.
loft upstairs. She has her area on the bottom floor. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath home.
Wow.
And big backyard. It's a new construction development with they're building a beach walk in. They're building all of these beautiful amenities, basketball court. There's already a gym there. They're building another one. Like
Wow.
they're building so much that they don't even want you to leave the neighborhood, and it's super safe because we're big on safety. Like I don't have to live in the city, downtown, all that stuff. Like I've already done all of that. I don't mind driving into the city. I'm a person that needs that space. But
Mhm,
that's how a lot of people live down there. They live in these beautiful homes in the outskirts. And I think that them knowing that they have this affordability, they can bet on themselves a little bit more than the average person, because they know that their mortgages are not even touching $2,000.
mm.
My mom walked into a home because she's a veteran, so she didn't have to pay a down payment. The closing cost was covered by the builder, and she ended up getting $7,200 to move into this home in her pocket.
Sheesh.
You got $7,200 to move into your home? I paid $19,000 on a fixer-upper down here, just a down payment, not the other $22,000 that went into the home. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, sometimes you really just have to pick your poison, and that's really what's going on. So I think that because the South knows that they also have this a bit more of affordability in comparison to the rest of the US, like they know that they can bet on themselves more.
Facts.
Because it is more affordable than cities like LA, New York, Miami, Chicago, even Dallas. Dallas is even more than Houston. But we are still getting the same amount of traffic that other big cities in Texas are getting, like Austin, Dallas, even New Orleans is nearby. So it's still nice. We get over 100,000 people coming in, visiting and stuff a month. So they know they're getting traffic. So I just think that the fact that they know that they're going to constantly win, they want to see you win too. And that makes me feel better because it doesn't feel like it's a competition. Out here, it did feel like it was a competition. As a female Black DJ, I did feel like I was always in competition with other female DJs, you know, especially the Hispanic ones especially would feel some type of way. I could tell. When it comes to their territory, I would say. Down there, people are already asking me to DJ. I'm the one that's saying, no, I need to focus on my priorities right now. DJing is a business, but it's definitely not a business that I'm worried about right now. I know I can do it, but it's something that you can scale, but it's a lot of physical work. Yeah. And it's a lot of physical work that's not matching my values right now. And my values are really important to me since my dad died. You know, my family is very important to me. How I'm present with my friendships is very important to me because they were there for me. My business affairs, of course, are very important to me, and my health and wellness. If it's not those 5 things, DJing actually takes away from most of those things. If I'm DJing, I can't really support another friend that night. If I'm DJing, I'm most likely going to have to drink or smoke hookah. So now I'm messing up my health and wellness. DJing will take me time away from my family because I'm not going to be with my mom. You know, I do want to spend more time with my mom. She's older. So those things really matter to me. But when I'm building my real estate company, she comes with me. You know, she helped me set up the short-term rental. We went thrifting and went shopping for this together. You know, I got to take her around and show her this. This has also made her want to retire early. She wants to join the business with me. Like now this is becoming a family business. Now I'm going to start a third company under this real estate company because she wants to flip homes in Houston. And she's willing to retire early to do the administrative side. She's even willing to go to real estate school and become a realtor so we could save on the concession agency fee. So that way we could save that 3% and put that towards maintenance and stuff. Like, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, building this empire does not have to be with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You could build an empire with your mother, with your brother, with your sister, your cousin, if you guys have the same vision. But I wouldn't have been able to do that here. That's my story though. You know what I'm saying? Someone whose roots are from here, that might be different. But I really had to go back to my roots, and that's just my story though. And that's just where I'm standing.
I love that. You know, I gotta, give a huge shout out to Houston because, like,
H-Town.
Listen, because you done came back. The only thing I can think about is the Drake song. Nails done, hair done, everything did. Like, you came out here just chilling, vibing, nails looking right. Like, you just
shout out to CVS.
You know what I'm saying? You said breathe a mother. I said, ooh, what? Ooh.
Yes. These are things I never thought about out here. I mean, first of all, I don't want to procreate with nobody out here. Like, be for real. Like, I have never I moved here in 2015. Wow, I was here 8 years. So, geez, forgot a year. But I've never been with anyone that I wanted to procreate with. I honestly didn't even envision me getting married and stuff because my dating life out here was never taking me there. But living in a city where it's so full of love and so filled with happiness and joy in these relationships and these marriages, seeing 20 and 30, 40 plus year olds still together, that is inspiring because it makes me realize it is possible. But again, I just don't want to build all this, and what, like when I die, no one takes care of it.
Mm.
I mean, this is bigger than me. So I had to think, yeah, I have to have a kid because it needs to be passed down to somebody. So, and again, I just don't see myself doing that here, you know? So I eventually, even as a woman, I would have had to make a big decision like, where am I going to raise that child?
Mm.
Where am I going to plant these seeds? But I do always plan on coming back to visit because Miami will always have a special place in my heart. You know, it didn't benefit me long term, but it still got me started. Just like my roots from Philly got me started on my hustle and bustle culture. Like I had a hustle to get somewhere. So
Thanks.
I would not be anything without Philly and Delaware, and I wouldn't be anything without Miami and Broward. Like
Mm.
these are still part of what made my story. So I'm always going to show love and come back and visit and spread love to others here and make sure that they also understand that if you want to be here, do these things. But if you don't want to be here, you don't have to stay. Like you don't have to pay $2,700 for a studio.
Facts.
You don't. That's your choice. Like
You said 4-bedroom, 3-bath under 2,000 mortgage is crazy work.
That's a penthouse
Yeah,
in the city.
that's like
That's a
1.5 out here,
penthouse.
easy. Like,
Yeah, that's literally a
wow,
beautiful penthouse in downtown Houston. $2,700. That's probably a 2 or 3 bedroom.
wow,
In if you want to live downtown.
wow.
Like, and I'm talking about one of the better like apartment buildings, not like a bad apartment building. So, you know, yeah.
So when you come back out here to visit your friends and everything,
Mhm.
you know, do you sense that sense of, and I say this very openly because
Mhm.
it can happen both ways.
Mhm.
Do you sense that sense of, damn, she switched up on us,
Mhm.
or are they more inviting and accepting towards the new path that you have going on?
I've gotten some cold shoulder
Mm.
from some people, I'm not gonna lie. And it wasn't, I could tell it wasn't intentional. There have been some people that I stopped talking to just because I can tell that they weren't supporting me on my journey. When I first decided to move to Houston, I was actually very private about it. Like I would make little jokes online, like, "Oh my God, look, Houston!" Like, "Oh my God, one day I'm going to be there." But little did people really know that I was really going to move. My closest friends, as in my best friends, knew I was gonna move, but my best friends don't live here. They
Mm.
live in New York. One lives in Houston, but is a travel nurse. So she was in Dallas at the time, but she's back in Houston now for her travel assignment. The other one, another one lives in Pittsburgh. She actually drove to Cleveland when I closed on that 2 unit
Yeah.
apartment building, and yeah. So my closest friends don't live here, so their opinions really did matter to me because they all made a choice to leave before, and they all decided to leave in their adult lives. You know, I moved to Miami as a teenager. I made an
Mm.
emotional decision, you know,
Mm.
as in this was an actual logical decision. So I really did have them involved. But my friends that I made like locally and stuff, like some of them are very supportive and some of them are very much like, you know, how did you do this or how did you go about this or whatever it may be, because they want to move and
Yeah.
they want, whether it's to be in Houston, Dallas, LA, like some of them just want to go up and go. But I did get some cold shoulders from some people because maybe they just always wanted to move and they're not ready, or maybe they took it to heart that I'm just not accessible anymore. But
Mm.
those people that gave me the cold shoulders, you only gotta give me the cold shoulder once, and I'm just not going to hit you up. Like I'll let you come to me because sometimes it's not personal. Sometimes they might be going through something, and my journey might trigger them, you
Mm.
know, because maybe someone else left that was important to them, etc. And I'm really learning now that since I've moved to not take things so personal.
Listen, your mindset is on 1,000 right now. You talk all to
Mhm.
the sapiosexuals out there. She's talking right now. You know what I'm saying? You feeding it right now, like,
Yeah.
yo. But no, that is amazing. And so,
Mhm.
with this mindset shift that you
Mm.
have, what are
Huge.
some new business practices that you started to
Mm.
develop, not only for the real estate but
Yes.
in your app and everything?
So I'm going to start with the real estate one because the real
Okay.
estate business really has grounded me as a person. And I think that it's been a wonderful journey because this is the biggest bet I've taken on myself, as in with the app. Like, if the app doesn't have a good month or a good year, it does not affect me personally. But the real estate side has affected me a bit more because I'm learning how to set up my business and how to go about set up your LLC, then getting the business bank account, then getting the business credit, and then doing all this stuff. And that is actually stuff that I didn't know about until after I got the 5th unit. So all of this is actually coming out of my personal funds.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
She money.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of money. I've spent almost $100,000 this year, I would say, between get the down payments, between the maintenance costs, between the flights, between going back and forth, the communication, my own time, you know what I'm saying? My time, it counts. So I would say between about $90,000 to $98,000 has been spent in this process. And going into 2024, I will make sure I leverage business credit and such. I've been learning a lot about that. I actually, another person from Houston referred me to somebody else, and that's getting me all set up. So that's been wonderful. But because of that, it's been not hard, but it's been very nerve-wracking because since I'm just now getting all of these units set up and ready for tenants, we are actually in the slowest season to get tenants. The slowest season. It's the holidays. Nobody likes moving during the holidays.
Facts.
So we have to pivot. And my pivot experience was, well, how about we turn one of these into a short-term rental? Let's collect some money during the holidays for people who are visiting, during New Year's, during Christmas, Hanukkah, all of these different holidays and all of these different religions. They all matter during the travel season. We're not going to get tenants, but let's at least get some money coming in, because to furnish this wasn't that much money, and we can keep this going, and that way we can at least try to break even going into January. I made that decision the week of Thanksgiving, so I had to go out and go find all this stuff, furnish the stuff in between like meetings and whatnot, driving an hour to one furniture outlet, then another hour to another furniture outlet. But I had to make all these relationships so I can get a discount or a wholesale price, because I am a business owner. Facts. And I'm not getting this from my home. So I'm telling them, look, this is not for a home. This is actually for a short-term rental. And they trusted me. They saw that I just came in here with a vision, and I explained to them, like, everybody what was going on. And I was getting like 20% off here, 30% off here. I got 3 mattresses, 3 mattresses, 3 box springs, and all this other stuff for like $900. Like, sheesh. I mean, I was really out here networking, but realistically, I had to keep myself calm, because I knew that going into December, I was gonna lose another $8,000. Yeah, and I had to take that. I had to hit that. So for me, this has, mindset wise, I have learned to stay calm and realize this is all part of the game. This is why you have a certain amount put away. I have literally another 6 figures sitting in my account. So realistically, I'm not worried about it, but now I know from this mindset, like, what did you learn from this, Brie? What did you learn? Okay, first of all, I learned that you don't want to, you fail fast, learn from it and pivot. My failure was, okay, I got this discounted price and I got this discounted property, but you didn't research your market enough to know that a lot of people don't move during this time. Facts. You should have maybe waited to January or February. But that's the thing about real estate. You don't know.
How long
you don't know.
Yeah.
Now interest rates are dropping and people are going to start buying more. So who's to say I would have got that house? Who's to say that I would have got this? And who's to say that I was going to get this at this price? I got a new construction duplex for $480. They're already building new construction duplexes down the block for $570. So who's to say I would have still got that price? So that's why it's like, you're going to have to roll with the punches. But now I know that I'm going to be able to leverage business credit in the future if I ever have to deal with a vacancy and whatnot. So that's the good thing. The good thing is that I'm learning and that I'm really managing my stress levels, and that I'm also not allowing it to affect me in my personal life. Like I could still show up for my friends. I still showed up for the event on Monday, for example. No one would have known that I just dealt with all that stress December 1st when I had to come out for the mortgage and when I had to come out for the expenses for the Cleveland property to become rent ready, because I had a contractor go in there to make it rent ready, cleaning it up, making sure everything's good with the HVAC and everything. And I had about $3,500 worth of issues that needed to be addressed, which honestly is not bad for a place that is not a new construction. I was like, you know what? This was a bit under budget, so I'm gonna save some more of that money and put it towards my mortgage. But because of who I am, because I'm a hustler, and because I already invest in other things, I have a comedy show in Atlantic City that's on the 9th, and that's why I'm still here.
You in it?
I'm not in it. I'm an investor in the Atlantic City comedy show. And because I knew what I was already going to be making from that, I already knew I was covered.
Listen, before you even go any further, y'all, she is not playing with you. She said, I got another 6 in the account. You cannot take her to Cheesecake Factory. She said, absolutely
you
not
absolutely
happening.
can take me to Cheesecake Factory, because first of all, somebody need to take me somewhere. So you absolutely can take me to Cheesecake Factory. I want an espresso martini, and I am not above Cheesecake Factory. I don't know what the girlies are talking about, but this girlie right here is going to Cheesecake Factory.
Listen,
I'm not above that. But don't take me to McDonald's. But that is the hustler side of me. So the good side was, I'm always covered. First of all, I'm always covered because God got me. Then Michael got me because my daddy up there with him. So keep talking to him. Now, third off, I got me. So I and my mom always makes sure I'm good. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I know I'm good. I tend to just have this battle versus me thing, like where if I'm not breaking even or making more, I tend to beat myself up, and I have to stop doing that. I was like, I have got to stop doing that. Like I was selling website packages. I was selling, I obviously still have my W-2.
Yeah.
But like I was doing everything, and I was like, you know what? Let me just learn from this. Like, it's fine. It's fine. This happens. Like, this is a long-term gain, and that's really the goal of this. Like, invest in some stuff that's for the long term, but you got to understand that it's going to come with some short-term losses. Facts. And my biggest pivot with this was that's why I started the flipping business, because when I start flipping these properties, now I have a great lump sum coming in, and I can always cover for if there's any more vacancies, if there's any more maintenance issues, and so on and so on. But for anybody who wants to invest in real estate, please understand, budget accordingly, especially if you want to rent out these properties, because it's not just the down payment. You need to really account for the vacancies. Most of the time it's really hard to get someone to move into your property during the holiday season. That is anytime between November, December, and going into January. So just putting that out there. Another thing is you want to account for your maintenance issues, because it's going to happen. And honestly, like, you want to know what kind of cash flow you're looking for if you are looking for cash flow. See, I'm a long-term investor. Like, I only invested in Cleveland because I said, okay, I do want to make a little bit of cash flow. But my Florida property was not even an intentional rental property for my business, because I just lived there. It was just somewhere I wanted to live. So I knew I wasn't going to be making cash flow. But as of now, for something I invested in literally in 2022 at the beginning of the year, that home already has $118,000 in equity. So imagine if I had 10 of them.
She's talking numbers to y'all. I don't even think they understand what that meant just now, but she's talking numbers to you.
So it doesn't make me a bunch of money every month, but that's $110K right there in equity, and something that can become liquid if I just sell it. So that's how I look at this in the long term. Like, if I even own 20 of these and 10 of them are, already have $100,000 in equity, then I am sitting on over $1 million in assets. So, which also changed my mindset yet again, because I said, well, if it's this easy to become a millionaire, then I need to focus on billionaire Brie.
Mm.
And that's why I'm focused on this, which then brings me to the app. The app, we've been taking our time with this app. You know, this whole year we took nothing but feedback from our users and what they're looking for. And as you know, they're looking for jobs, they're looking for gigs, they're looking for money. So we really are building out systems in the app where people can not just apply to gig opportunities from the app itself, but I want companies to feel like it's easy to upload these opportunities. So we're releasing a desktop application going into 2024. You'll be able to be at your desktop and go on to GEM's website and literally download it to your desktop.
Wow.
Computer. That way you can upload gig opportunities with the ease. You can also access it on the web browser, and you'll also be able to access it through the mobile app. The accessibility of our app should be flawless going into 2024. And then we'll start looking for investors. We're looking for angel investors for it, like anywhere between 50 to 100K, just to get us going on our sales
That's
side.
it?
Yeah, that's just angel investment. Angel. Because we really appreciated being a bootstrapped company, but angel investors, yeah, we're looking for 50 to 100K checks.
And
That will
what's
really
the kickback?
15%. It's pretty good. Because angel investors actually get a good amount considering that they're early.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So we'll be looking
This
for
I
that.
know.
Hence why I'm back here doing Art Basel.
Hello,
motherfucker. So
we gonna have to have that lunch you owe me.
On you.
You got 6 figures sitting in the account.
I'll take Cheesecake Factory. Anytime. So focusing on that as well. And I will say that the event on Monday made me even more happy for GEM, because that's what it's about. Like we had so much great feedback just from the panel and like the future of GEM. I actually met some of the users in person, like telling me what they're looking forward to. So that's been nice that I got to build something digitally that people really got to experience the whole entire year, matching with each other. Like some people did a project. Someone did a project. Like,
wow.
I was like, really? Like someone wrote a book together. I was like, this is amazing. Like I wouldn't know.
That's dope.
And I was like, wow, like y'all know I'm Pisces, don't make me cry now. So to hear that people like actually found help through it, not even just on the gig side, but like, hey, I actually forgot to tell you, I found this person who knows how to create illustrations for a book, like, and that they actually exchange payments and everything. I was like, wow, like that's cool. Also, like, would y'all exchange payments over the app if we had that feature? And when I got a yes, I'm like, okay, now I need to let my team know that, hey, maybe in our roadmap, we should allow people to exchange payments and, for services and stuff. So I'm just excited for the future of GEM, because really the goal is to get it to the point where we do sell it to somebody who can make GEM like 10 times, 100 times better, like in the hands of LinkedIn, the hands of Google, and the hands of
what valuation
like
point are you looking at?
I would like anywhere between 50 to 100 mil for sure. I would like to keep it between that, because honestly, I think that getting downloads is not going to be hard. Like I haven't even went hard with marketing yet. We just needed to get the beta out there last year to get feedback. We don't want to overly promote the wrong stuff. We just needed feedback. We got over 500 responses, and that was more than enough feedback that we needed. I got to sit and do user interviews. Like I was a part of 3 accelerators. Like I had a lot of time with GEM. I was glad that I actually took this summer to take a step back and sit with all the feedback instead of being on autopilot. So that was great for me as well. But as of now, I see a vision. I see what we're doing. We're doing great on the technical side of things, and really, looking forward to putting it out there. And the content side is not going to be hard to push. So getting downloads is not going to be hard. It's really just going to be the biggest step is going to be creating the relationships with companies, so that way they can build that trust with us. But I am grateful to say that the city of Lauderhill is a great supporter of GEM, and they're looking forward to putting gigs on there, because I was also part of their program where I didn't win, but I was selected as one of the top 20 businesses to win a grant with them, and we had to present to the mayor and all this other stuff. It was right before I left to Houston, and even though I didn't win, they loved the app so much and they want to stay connected, so that because they said they have tons of stuff, tons of opportunities for creatives, for photographers, DJs, etc. As you can imagine, that they have they're commissioners. Like they have so many events, holiday parties, summer barbecues, like spring barbecues. Like it's hot all damn year, you know. So they have stuff all the time. So it would be nice that they get to use our marketplace to connect with other creators and just to hire them and get them a part of City of Lauderhill. And I was like, that's great. And I would love to do that with City of Miami, City of Fort Lauderdale, City of Hollywood. But just building that network is what we're going to have to focus on with our interns. So I'm also bringing on interns in January so they can really understand what that process will look like. And just the goal is to get at least 1,000 companies really signed up and really like comfortable with the app. And if they at least post, if we have 1,000 companies on there and they post anywhere between 10 to 20 times a year, we'll have over 20,000 gig opportunities on the app itself. And then eventually we'll have a membership so that way people can pay for the membership to apply for the gigs. And that's it. Because if we can make you an extra few $1,000s a month, there's no reason why you can't pay us $20 a month to use the app.
True.
Less volume, you know, because
going into the middleman method.
Right. We're going to be the middleman. We get you connected to your gig opportunities. And also, the more people on the app, the more bugs we're going to have. So we have to really assess our risk. Like, if we're going to have millions of people on here, we really do need to be a little selective. Like, millions of people can't apply for the same thing. Let's be real. Yeah. But the ones who are really invested in themselves, they're not going to worry about paying $20 a month. I was paying that for the bash, you know, when I wanted to get wedding gig opportunities. And I didn't care about paying $100 or whatever, or $200-$300 for the year, if I knew I was going to get that back from a gig. Yeah. So that's what we want. That's the mindset that we have to put them in. That what's $20 if you're going to end up making that right back from a gig?
Yeah, Jay-Z birthday just the other day. Shout out to him. What's 50 grand to a month like me?
Exactly.
Could you please remind me?
Hello, can you please remind me? So that's actually the second phase that we're going to focus on. Where the gig opportunities are going to be out there. People are going to be able to do what they want with it. But we are going to reassess how our memberships are, and I would say by June, we're going to really launch that membership only feeling, so that way you have to be a member to apply for gigs, like point blank period.
Pivotal. So since you brought up angel investors, so now, especially since your mindset is a lot more enhanced and you've done a lot more speaking, a lot more presentations and everything, do you see yourself going more towards the VC route for more like seed round type things?
As of now, we're going to stick with angel investment for now. Okay. And that's for now. I have nothing against VCs because the VC world has changed a lot since early 2000s. You know, the VC world used to be very, very white. It used to be very much, you have to move to San Francisco or somewhere in California. And this girl right here is not moving to California. Okay. But a lot has changed. You know, now you can stay remote. You can have a remotely distributed company. Like, so I'm not against the VC world. One of my mentors is a VC. And if his VC focused on consumer kind of technology like this, it would actually be a great match. But they're focused more on e-commerce kind of things.
Do you know Think Global? It was
Janine.
Janine.
Yeah, she used to own that. Yes. I remember that way back then.
You know, she's a VC now, right?
She works for a VC.
No, she just became her own. She just left that company. She's her own VC.
Brex?
Yeah, she left.
I didn't know she's became a VC. Yeah. But yes, I do know who she is. Like, I actually met her a few times. I have to see what she's actually
I can see y'all vibing because she just went on a sabbatical in Brazil after she left the company, and she's like, hey, I'm just enjoying my time, but she's a full-on investor herself.
Oh, I didn't know that now because I knew she was an angel investor. So, and I actually liked how she pivoted from Think Global to Brex to whatever. But she must be a part of a VC because she also still is in the 9-to-5 world as well. And to be a VC, like you actually, like there's certain qualifications you have, but she might be a LP for a VC. So that'll be an interesting connection. I'm gonna have to check her out on LinkedIn. But I'm not opposed to the VC world. It just depends on where we're at metric wise. Like if when we take on our angel investors, and if we only exhaust 70% of what we get, but we're really making them great returns, we have great returns, and we're constantly growing month over month, year over year, then I'm not
You don't
going to
need
reach
them,
out
yeah.
if we don't need it. We just need enough really to invest into our processes and honestly make sure that we're really done building out the app to its full, like our full roadmap, really. But marketing too. Like we would appreciate, honest to God, we would appreciate angel investors like that really have connections to like studios like this. You know, we need content, we need the photography, we need the videos. Like that's what's really going to help us grow. You know, like I don't think it's not even just the technological side. It's the UGC creators, it's the influencers, it's the events that we need to put together. Like that would be amazing for us, you know. So I personally think that if we have an investor that's also well connected with the creative side of the business that we need, that's going to benefit us more than just a VC who cuts us a check and that's really it. But a lot of the angel investors that I see that invest into certain technology, they're investing into things that they know that they can make it better because they're going to get their returns because their network is going to support this.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I appreciate, because we've had two other people that wanted to invest in it before, but I'm like, well, what is your vision with this? Like we're like, not that you have to work on it because you are an investor, but like where do you see yourself fitting with them with this? And their vision of Gem was not it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't see at all what we were trying to do. It just didn't even make sense, honestly. So it didn't work out, as you can see. Also the numbers just didn't make sense back then either. So
got it.
It really depends. It's all a numbers game. It's all a metric game. But I'm personally looking for investors that understand the creator economy. You know, even better if you're in it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're in it, then you're going to understand how explosive the creator economy is. It's not declining at all. So, which means that this app should always continue to grow because the creator economy keeps on growing. It's all there's no one wants to keep working 9 to 5s. People want to really go in on their creative businesses. And also businesses can't live without creators.
Now, also to be, you know, a devil advocate to that, do you feel like that's also affecting the market because everybody is trying to be on some entrepreneur type of time?
I think it does affect the market in certain ways, but it doesn't affect it as far as it growing. Like the creator economy is growing. I would say that what people are getting paid is getting affected though.
What about like the other side? I mean, more so like the 9 to 5s declining. Like people don't want to be doctors anymore. People don't want to be police. People don't want to be medics,
or in the military,
nurses, military, whatever. And so
I do see that. I think that people are willing to take more bets on themselves now, because I would say back then, especially if you come from an underrepresented group, like you're listening to your parents, you know what I'm saying? Like you're listening to, oh yeah, like we want you to become an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, etc. I mean, even me, like my dad wanted me to go to school for computer science, but I was already aligned with that. So it didn't really matter for me. But my mom also knew my creative side. So she always, you know, she did support me in my DJ business at the time. She bought me my first few DJ sets and stuff. So I had both that support. So for me, it wasn't hard to be a creative who also did some of the regular stuff, like go to school in a 9 to 5. However, I think that with TikTok and with content, social media, and just showing the possibilities that you can be an influencer, that you can be a creator, that you can be a full-time photographer and videographer and a model. Like, I think that the media has changed the game for creatives, and that's why it's changing the game for how many people are going down the ordinary route of going to school and getting a job, or going to the military or becoming a police officer and stuff. Because I do have people that are in these ordinary roles that were like, I wish I really would have stuck to my YouTube channel, or oh, I wish I would have stuck to my podcast, or you know what I'm saying? So it does change it, but I think that it's stuff that people always wanted to do and was just scared. That's all. Like, I think now people see the possibilities are endless and they want
Especially
a
with
piece of
social
it,
media. Facts.
especially with
So,
social media.
mhm.
Like, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I be seeing some shit and I'm like, I could do that. Really? Why didn't I think of that? You know,
Yeah.
you don't see the possibilities until you see someone else in those shoes. And or you see that, or you also see that there's something that's been lingering on your mind, and when someone else did it, you got mad.
Mm. Them
Mm.
feelings come up.
Now your feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
Now your feelings are hurt because you kept saying that I'm gonna start that YouTube channel and talk about why, why men need to believe in chivalry ain't dead anymore. And now someone else talking about it. Now you mad as hell because that person just got a sponsorship.
Mm.
Now you mad as hell because you should have started what you said you was gonna do. That's one thing I will say that I am about. Everything that I say I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do it. Now, if I fail at it or if I'm not as consistent about it, I have a personal reason behind it. But if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Now these people out here that keep talking about something, y'all need to shut up.
Mm.
Y'all need to be quiet. Y'all
Mm.
need to be the G in lasagna and be silent
Ooh.
because you're not doing it. So stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. Don't, what Beyonce say, don't keep talking about it. Be about it. Be about it. Because it's the truth. And it always comes down to social media will piss you off. Social media gonna piss you off because it's gonna remind you that you keep saying you're gonna do it and you're not doing it, mamas.
And it's who you surround yourself by, because
back to your
it's
surroundings.
like I deal with it right now. Like I literally have to take a step back sometimes and like check myself because I'm like, yo, I'm not doing shit. I ain't got shit going on. I ain't got nothing going on.
And that's crazy to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Because
That's
crazy
like, yo,
to hear you say that.
it was my brother that checked me. He was like, bro, you just had a $20,000 day. I was like,
but you might know that you deserve a $200,000 day.
You know what I'm saying? And some of the people that I'm surrounded by, like, they were like, oh yeah, I did 60 today. Yeah, I did 100 today. I did whatever today. And they're not saying it to brag, but they're just saying it like,
yeah,
keep going. What the hell you saying? Like, that's cute. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit hurt.
Yeah, but that's why your surroundings are important. I actually really applaud you. First of all, let me applaud you. Let me give you your flowers on your podcast because you stuck to this since you started it. So congratulations on the growth of your podcast. And also congratulations on your surroundings because I have been seeing you surrounded with more Black men. Let's start with that. Okay. Vulnerability. You talking about your finances is vulnerable, for you to say that you had a 20K day and then hear other people have a higher day or a lower day and to instead of being envious, you're motivated. Congratulations to you because that means that you have grown out of your own ego. And that's big for you to say, you know what, that means I can do this, and this instead of going home and being mad about it and taking it on someone else. You took it upon yourself to say, I can do this. So congratulations to you,
thank
because
you,
that's big. And that's what we have to keep doing in our communities. Like, honestly, when I moved to Houston, I checked myself real quick because see, I thought I was hot shit because I was in South Florida, being a 27-year-old, and having my own home and my own app and the degrees and all that stuff is cute in South Florida. I'm just somebody else in Houston. Like, oh, cool, you have that. That's great. So this 25-year-old right here. Oh, what I do is regular here. Yeah. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna have to step my cookies up. It's basically what I was told. So when I started going out and about, I'm seeing I'm seeing people having like 10 units, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing people flipping properties, and I'm seeing like men, a lot of the men especially, own these lounges, and I mean they're bosses and stuff, like, or my realtor, had like sold like 10 homes in 3 weeks. Like, I was like, dang, that's volume. Like 30 million in sales. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my God. And these people are killing it, and they're not living above their means. They're not living these crazy ass homes. Like, they're still beautiful homes, because keep in mind that Texas ecosystem has beautiful homes,
Facts.
but they're not like living as like mansions and all crazy cars and stuff. Like they're still staying very
They
grounded
vibed
because
out.
they're constantly reinvesting in themselves. Like if sis had a 10K day, she might just put 3K back into to ads, you know what I'm saying, and put a 1,000 for herself to spoil herself, and the rest into
And that's
something
how it
else.
be.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, like, and I've literally watched my realtor take some of the money that she made even from me and my mom sell, getting our homes, because we had one realtor for both of those homes, and she literally invested into starting her own team under a brokerage. She also put down a down payment onto a new construction duplex that she's building from the ground up to rent
Sheesh.
out in January. I mean, like, these are people who are just maybe a couple years older than me.
Mm.
So I'm like, I would have never had these conversations with other Black women down here that I was around. You know what I'm saying? I was here for all these years. I barely knew anyone who even bought a house, let alone owns properties with an S. I still am the only person I know down here that did that, because I have not came across other people like that yet. For some reason, it's not that people don't exist like that. I just have not came across them yet. As in Houston, that's everywhere.
Yeah.
You can go into a restaurant and there's a boss sitting there eating or drinking coffee and stuff, like everywhere. And I think that's what makes it safe for me, because it also means that I have plenty of resources, that if this resource doesn't work out, no problem, I got another one I could find literally down the street. Like, I mean, any coffee shop, any lounge, anything, you can go in there and meet a boss and ask questions and have a conversation. And sometimes I'm like, hey, can I just pick your brain and I will pay you for it? Like, and they still be like, girl, just sit down and ask me some questions, like, because they're not even like that. But it's the fact that I offered it, that they'll still be like, I respect you, you real for that, because a lot of people won't even offer to pay for picking my brain.
Facts.
So yeah, like, I mean, good for you for surrounding yourself around those people, because I think that shifts your mindset. You know what I'm saying? And that's literally what happened to me. My mindset shifted when I started being around more entrepreneur women and being around more people who bet on themselves. You going to school is not betting on yourself. I'm sorry. Like, that's not betting on yourself to me. You betting on me betting on myself is me putting up 6 figures and still losing money month over month, because I'm trying to do something long term that's really going to change the game.
Facts.
Me investing in myself is also investing in this world, because I want to have affordable housing one day, because I want to own all these properties and I want to create something that is bigger than me. That's betting on myself. You know what I'm saying? Betting on myself is this app, still taking extra money out of my money to invest in this until I get business credit. Like, all these things, like, that's betting on myself. And also doing this during a time where I'm grieving still, because I am still grieving. I still have to take time and grieve my father's death. So that's betting on myself. I'm betting on myself in every area of my life. So I have to be around other people who can honestly respond to me when I'm going through that, because I get emotional, and I have to talk to someone about it. But I can't talk to someone about it who just had a bad day at work. I'm sorry you had a bad customer today. Like, I can't, like, how am I going to talk about that with just people who just work a 9 to 5? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to talk to people who really get it. And so you being around those people, they get it. And that's why it's easy for y'all to talk about a 20K day, a 100K day, a 60K day. I love those conversations. I want to be a part of those conversations.
Shit, you are. You asked a super good question at the panel on Monday. You asked them about, or was it your question? I think it was your question about burnout.
Yes.
Yeah, and you asked them about burnout, and the only thing that I could think in my head, because I was like, "That's a really good question," and how I would answer something like that is because of these same people. I no longer burn out; I burn up.
Yep. Exactly.
And in me burning up, like I get on fire. Like, there's no such thing on both sides of the fence, because I'm at the point in my life where we have employees and contractors underneath.
Yep.
So I can't just say, "Oh, I'm tired today."
Hello.
But then I also have people like, "Yo, you done already? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, whatever. But they'll also, even within them, still pushing me, say, hey, did you take a break?
Yep.
Did you chill?
Yep.
Did you go on vacation? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
so I haven't experienced burnout in a long time, but
Right.
and
But that's great.
as a last question for you, how do you deal with burnout
Mhm.
considering all the different
Mhm.
fields that you're in?
I honestly have to remind myself that it's okay to take a small break. Like, go to the spa, go do something nice for yourself, go get your lashes done, go shopping. Like, that 30 minutes to an hour actually really impacts me.
Mhm.
But and sometimes it's really just, investing into my health and wellness. I have a trainer now, which is why I've been promoting my Unbig the Back series. 12 pounds down.
Mm,
So, like, I've been investing in my well-being. This is a lovely purple rain drink. This is non-alcoholic, by the
mm.
way, not giving out free promo though. So hiding the logo. But have taken my ashwagandha, drinking my green drinks, drinking my water. Like, these things matter. Like, what I'm putting in my body and feeling my energy matters to me, because especially on long days. But also just my wind down and my routine. Like, I am practicing. I'm still working on it, getting up earlier and starting my day earlier.
Mm.
I use Notion for my
Notion's
routine.
great.
Yes, I love Notion. I'm big on, especially being a project manager and having that background. I do need to know what my Monday looks like, what my Tuesday looks like, what does my calendar look like.
You know what you would like? Have you ever used Time Tree?
No, what is that? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, is that when you're seeing how much time you're spending on everything? Oh,
No.
because that's another thing I'm
It's a
working on.
whole app that's like a
Time
calendar
tree.
app, but it's
Okay.
basically Notion on the go.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into Time Tree. I'm
Yeah.
always open, and that's another thing. Being open to feedback
Hmm.
is helping me with my burnout. I had a big ego problem where I did not like people's feedback because I would take it as this like kind of criticism back then. But
Mm.
now I'm really open to listening to others because again, now I'm around people who do this for real. And I
Mhm.
think what used to offend me, and this might have offended you in the past too, is when people who aren't even in your shoes try to criticize you. Like someone who's never had a podcast trying to tell you how to grow your podcast. Like, who,
Mm.
excuse me? A Akumi? You know what I'm saying? Like,
They're not
it
even playing the game.
you feel
I
me? You
get
know what I'm
it.
saying? So I used to be annoyed more so, like when I wouldn't even ask for someone's feedback and they're never, like never done something like this. Like, for some example, someone trying to tell me, oh, how I should go about setting up my Airbnb. You've never even moved out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, why are you trying to tell me how to run my shit? And you have not even done something as simple as even moved out of your parents' house. Like,
I've always
so
treated that as like a double-edged sword. And so
yeah.
in treating it in that way, what I started moving my perspective to, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
also, I've been approached with that question. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
business mindset coach.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first questions they ask me is, how are you going to help me if you've never even been in my field? And that's a
Right.
very good question that they
Right.
ask. I'm like, you're right. But
But it
that's
starts with
not
your
the question
mind
that you need to
anyways.
ask. I said, you
Yeah,
need to ask if I've ever done six figures, if I've ever
exactly.
done over a million, if I've ever
Right,
done these people. I said, and I
right.
have. I said, your industry is just a
It's just an industry.
industry. Exactly.
Exactly. And that's why I started, that's why I said that's why I had to check my ego, because if
Mhm,
someone's just trying to help, let me at least be open to receiving feedback. As
mhm,
in back then I was just like, why are you talking to me about this if you've never done it? So I've
mhm,
changed my mindset, and now like when people tell me like, hey, like just take this break, like let me do this for you, let me help you, I'm now accepting help.
mm,
And accepting help has helped me with not being burnt out as much. I might have literally a 14-hour day because I'm driving all around, me and contractors, establishing these early relationships that honestly I don't want to skip these phases, because
mhm,
I want to start it while I can be hands-on in my business. As time goes on, I now have property managers and people to automate my process, but I did want to build early relationships and such because I'm just now starting my business and I don't want to pay everybody for everything.
yeah.
Let me be in the field and understand certain things. Why is the gas not on? Why is this leaking? Hey, what is this in the back of the house? Let me check out the roof. Oh, what is this hole here? Like, these things matter because I'm going to continue getting better in the process of buying these homes and buying these duplexes. I'm buying a quadruplex in 2024, like then an 8-unit building. Like, there's certain certain things that I need to be aware of, the awareness behind my burnout too. Why am I burnt out? Why am I burnt out? Is it because I didn't eat right? Is it because I'm sleepy? Is it because I've talked to too many people? Like, recognizing where your burnout is even coming from. Facts. Because then you need to address the underlying issue. My burnout sometimes has nothing to do with the damn work. Maybe it's because I'm putting too much time into hanging out. Like, I'm trying to overly support, and I haven't taken enough time for my business, because we've all been there. Like, oh, we're trying to support this person, this person, this person, and oh, I have deadlines. You know what I'm saying? So the art of saying, hey, no, I can't make it. Hey, look, another time. Hey, look, I have a deadline tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to do this. And if feelings are hurt, hey, look, this is my life. This is my life I'm playing with. But those people that are close to me understand that anyways. And I do communicate in a way where it wouldn't come across that their stuff doesn't matter. It's just, this is my livelihood at the end of the day. Like, just like you have a business, or y'all not going to miss work to come to one of my events. Like, it's the same thing. So just recognizing where the burnout is coming from is a big thing, and addressing it thereon. But it's always going to go down to, again, like my wellness, my health, getting some rest, like not like 2-3 hours. Cause sometimes I've had those nights and I'm like, no. I'm going to bed at 11. I'll wake back up at 6 or 7 and start my day. Like, and just having this routine and really making sure that I'm really making the best of my day, not the worst of it. You know, if something doesn't go my way, roll with the punches, like figure it out later, and keep going, not freezing up. Because I will say, if you, especially in the real estate side, these people will keep pushing your buttons. The contractors, especially, being a Black woman, especially, and it don't help that I look good. Like, they especially don't take me serious. Like, oh, where's the owner of the house? Motherfucker. I am the owner of the house.
You got to cue up a theme song on your phone for that now.
I mean, it's just so silly. I mean, the city of Houston got to be tired of me calling for these damn trash bins. Like, you know, it's the silliest stuff. Like, it can be the silliest of the silliest of the silliest things that will stop you from moving forward in your process. So just rolling with the punches, like not taking it personal, because I have to think, you know what, the city of Houston has had a dramatic amount of people move here in September. Let me give them some grace. You know, maybe I can always go find, you know, some trash bins myself and use them until they come. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways around it. So I'm just realizing that you need rest, though, to think like this. You need rest. You need to not be as anxious. And for someone who has anxiety disorder, that ashwagandha is hitting. Okay. Ashwagandha is my best friend. Like, not the whole, I'm going to be a weed smoker throughout my day. Like, that's like my little weekend thing when I'm relaxing. But when I'm on business, my tea, my ashwagandha, we go real bad. Nobody's pissing me off when I have this ashwagandha. And my water. So that's how I personally deal with my burnout. And burnout comes in different ways, again, but it's just recognizing why I feel burnt out in the first place. So, yeah.
Wow. You just, this is what I inspire for everybody that comes back on this show. Literally, yes. Like, this is what I want is things like this. Because people often ask, like, oh, you're going to run out of guests and this and that. I said, no, because you got to understand that people level up
and evolve. The next time I come on here, I want to be a millionaire.
You're going to be a millionaire.
I'm not even allowed to be on here until I'm a millionaire.
You're going to be a millionaire.
Dead ass.
Literally.
I am going to be a millionaire. And then after that, I'm going to come back on here when I'm a billionaire. But like, yeah, I mean, people literally evolve. Like, and that was another thing I was telling, someone did ask me on Monday after the panel, why I moved out of Miami. And I also told them that a lot of people in Miami are involved with each other, but they're not evolving. And that's my problem. I said the involvement down here is not a problem. The evolving part, especially women down here, not the men, because I do think, shout out to the men in Miami. I'm proud of y'all. I can honestly say that there's a great amount of men down here that I'm very proud of, as far as like their businesses growing, whether it's their creative businesses, your production company, your business mindset growth, like everything. Like I see a lot of the men snapping. The ladies are giving me crickets. The ladies are giving me crickets. And, you know, I that's what I'm talking about with the evolve side. See me, I gotta be around the women that are doing things, not just the men. The men, great, but where are the women that are snapping? Where are the groups of women? I have that group in Houston where we're at the coffee shops. Where we all come together and we're working on our businesses, our
3 months.
LLCs. Oh my God, don't file it like this. Like I mean, like it's amazing. Travel nurses, doctors, lawyers, people start, and all of them still trying to start their real estate business. They're trying to start their Airbnb cleaning business. They're trying to start their
3
property
months.
management company. I'm 3 months ago. I've only been there 3 months and I already have this community of people. So I'm just, and they're all Black. So I'm like, why haven't I been able to find this here? And it's not that I've never tried to have it. I've tried to build it. But people don't show up, or, oh, I can't make it. Oh, Broward's so far. No one cares down there. People driving 30, 40 minutes to go meet up with each other, you know, and then we're still celebrating. We'll still have fun and go enjoy ourselves. But like, it's like down here, I'm just met with a lot of excuses. And I don't have time for that. I mean, what did I say? Once you said, we might have to have you on the podcast. Set it up. I'll be there. Yeah. Got the rental car and drove up here. I don't care if it's 40 minutes. Like, it's an opportunity. But people let opportunities go to waste over some gas money. But you're gonna but you're gonna spend that same amount of money to go to the same spot on Friday, or to go to BBL Sundays. So I'm like, what are you talking about? You want to go to Beyond Brunch, but you won't go beyond yourself to get busy. That's crazy to me. Your priorities suck. Your priorities suck. Like, I'm just like, that's crazy to me. That is really beyond me. I can't believe that. They would never do that in Houston. They would never. Because you know why? Because they know that someone else is looking for their spot and is going to try to take it the moment that they stop being consistent. But down here, it's just like, I don't understand the mindset. I don't understand. You would think that because it costs so much down here too, that you want to be more on it. But, and that's another thing with the women that I'm coming across down here in the entrepreneurship world. They be looking for their men to keep fueling them and to keep funding them. I've never been on that type time. So I've never been able to relate to that. Like, I think it's great that if you have a boyfriend or a husband to support you in your business endeavors. I honestly commend it. But you can't rely on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out here like, oh yeah, I'm away from my man, or my girl, and for my business to thrive. What? That don't even sound right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know when that's going to happen. Like, that's like hitting the lottery at this point. So I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. So if you are an entrepreneur and you're a woman and you are in Miami, please, like, stop. Don't play those games. Like, y'all need to come together more often. Like, your community matters. You are who you hang out with. I do believe that. I do believe that your community can help strengthen you as a person, you as a company, you as a business, like you as a person. And if all you're doing is hanging out with losers, well, I hate to take off the hat and tell you, but you're a loser. If all the people you hang out with are losers, you're a loser.
Every time she said loser, we got to put a gunshot after that. You're a loser.
You're a loser. You're a loser. Because why would you want to hang out with a loser? Why would you want to? Don't do that to yourself.
Breezy.
So hang out with winners.
We appreciate you just coming back on the show and just dropping gems, GEMs.
Gems, you know, as always.
And we look forward to you coming back on as a multi-millionaire. You know what I mean? A billionaire. That's you can spend $100,000 a day for 27 years and you'll spend $1 billion.
Hello.
And so we definitely looking forward to you coming back on as a billionaire.
I'm excited.
You know, I need that friendship in my life. You know what I mean?
You know, we friends forever.
Listen, you know, it's Take a Man to Lunch month. So go ahead. I'll be the guest of honor. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. But listen, thank you so much for just taking the time.
And come down to H-Town.
I'm sliding. I'm sliding. That market, I've been talking about it a little bit. I'm
Y'all would
sliding.
love it. Y'all would love it.
I'm sliding. But, you know, as we always say, this is attractive mindset. And
Yes.
as you can tell, she has an amazingly attractive mindset. The gems that were shared, drop knowledge, no holds barred. Listen, she gave you the scoop and she kept it real. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Just keeping it real, just vulnerability, the journey, the process, the ups, the downs. She told you about things that aren't just the wins. And that's what it's about in
actually,
entrepreneurship.
I think I talked about most of my losses than the wins, you know? But,
exactly.
But that's the thing, like in business, you will take a lot of losses. What y'all see on the internet, y'all might see a lot of wins, but to be honest, what really makes you a better business person is how you deal with the losses.
Facts.
Not just how you deal with the wins. Like it's easy to deal with the wins, but how do you deal with it when your back is against the wall?
And you'll grow more from the losses than you will from the wins, honestly.
You will.
Because they'll put you in positions that a win never would.
Yep. And guess what? I'm still here. Even when I could have cracked down, even when I could have said, you know what? I'm not going to do anything. Or I could just move and just start all over and not do nothing. But I still decided to go down there and really bet on myself. I could have just went down there and lived a regular life. I think people forget that. Y'all, I did not have to go to Houston and start this. Houston's so cheap. I could have just took my salary that I make here, you know, to Houston and could have just lived a regular life and been with my dog and been like them white girls with the tumblers and called it a day.
Absolutely.
But I didn't. I bet on myself. Y'all know what we want to talk about too with the clear cup and the coffee.
So listen, if people wanted to learn more about your journey, follow up with
me.
You know, y'all not gonna make the close friends list, but listen.
No, y'all not making a close friend. In fact, I'm about to start charging.
That's a whole movie.
I'm about to start charging.
Regal Cinema. We need memberships.
Yep.
We need memberships. But
Membership.
listen, if people wanted to tap in with you, learn more about you, where could they find you at?
Bree Flemings. So you can find me on Instagram. It's BREE Flemings, FLEMINGS. I am easily accessible on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn is Brianna Flemings, BRIANNA. FLEMINGS. And make sure you follow my app, Gem Social app, JEM Social app.
And so, yeah, that was another amazing episode. And if you like this, make sure you subscribe and also just share with a friend. The knowledge that was dropped here, you don't want to keep it to yourself. We want to spread it all around. And as we always say, this is your host, Moneybag Rich. Make sure you tap in and we look good. We live good. Life is good. Talk to us. Good. We talk back.
It's breezy.
Out of here.
Check you.